What is the most important issue that the president should consider in 2013?
Decreasing the deficit by raising taxes on the rich.
I personally think that the economic recession should still be worked on and eventually sort of build that economy back up. It's going to be awesome.
It would have to be the economy. There's no way that we're going to keep going on any other big issue besides the economy.
What do you think the most important issue that the president should consider in 2013 is?
I think it's the energy crisis. We really need to look towards renewable resources like solar energy.
Dealing with the high prices for education should be much cheaper.
Nature conservation and reducing global warming.
The economy.
The economy.
The economy.
The economy.
The economy.
The economy.
The majority of students here at Tintas School clearly believe that the most important issue that the president should consider in 2013 is the economy, and for a good reason too.
What is your sense of the state of the U.S. economy right now?
Well, the recovery is proceeding, but it's proceeding very, very slowly.
We're facing a real cliffhanger. Your reporting says that 90% of Americans could essentially face a tax increase.
The headline on the front page, companies cling to cash.
The economy isn't just about money, it's about businesses and how they work. It's how many goods we make, how many jobs are available in the country and your local town. It affects your retirement, our education, and our future. The economy is not currently in the state that Americans wish it to be. Unemployment is hovering around 8% and the national debt is around $16 trillion. Americans are not happy with this and they've made that clear. So what does the president plan to do about the economy? Obama wants to put Americans back to work by repairing and replacing old roads, bridges, airport runways, and schools, similar to what Franklin Delano Roosevelt did to end the Great Depression. Half of the money saved from ending the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan will be used to fund these infrastructure projects. As the Barack Obama website says, Obama has proposed cutting the deficit by more than $4 trillion over the next decade by allowing tax cuts for upper-income Americans enacted during George W. Bush to expire, and by eliminating loopholes. The proposed rate would make people who make over $1 million per year pay a federal income tax of a rate of at least 30%, and is referred to as the Buffett rule. Increasing taxes on the rich is a desire of the majority of Americans. Obama also plans to make the 2001 and 2003 Bush tax cuts permanent for middle-income families to lower individual and corporate tax rates. The goal is to balance the budget down the road. In addition, Obama has offered a long list of corporate tax breaks to end, ranging from inventory accounting to interest on overseas profits and tax provisions benefiting oil and gas companies. He wants to eliminate tax breaks for companies that send jobs and profits overseas. These ideas, however, have some opposition. Most Republicans believe that a 35% tax rate will destroy corporations. 35% is among the highest tax rate in the industrial world, and they believe that our businesses will not be able to compete in the global economy or invest and create jobs at home. By limiting investment and growth, the high rate of corporate tax may also hurt U.S. wages. In addition, many Republicans believe that lower tax rates across the board will encourage spending and economic growth. Some believe increasing tax rates, like Obama wishes to do, will discourage spending and economic growth. And this is part of what makes economics so difficult. What worked today may not work tomorrow. For example, Bill Clinton's strategy to improve the economy, referred by some as Clintonomics, included both Republican and Democratic ideas. Clinton, in general, decreased the power of the federal government. He made it more entrepreneurial and distributed more authority to state and local governments. This made the government more flexible and efficient. Herbert Hoover, on the other hand, had a less successful economic strategy. When Wall Street crashed in 1929, Hoover tried to solve hard times with volunteer efforts, public works projects such as the Hoover Dam, more tariffs, and an increase in taxes on the rich from 25% all the way up to 63%, as well as an increase in corporate taxes. These actions did not produce any recovery in his time, but did mark the beginning of policies in FDR's New Deal. It is often hard to determine how much time is needed for new policies to work. This is the reason many voters were hesitant to re-elect President Obama. They were unsure of whether his policies were going to work or just needed more time. So far, as of January 1st, Congress has voted to keep taxes at the same rate for the middle class. Individuals earning less than $400,000 and married couples filing jointly less than $450,000 will not see an increase or a decrease in their taxes. For those earning more than those amounts, however, tax rates will return to Clinton-era rates. These increases will go from 35% to 39.6%. In addition, the tax rate on capital gains and dividends will rise from 15% to 20% for those upper-income Americans. Social Security taxes will also revert to 6.2% instead of the old 4.2%. Finally, the estate tax will be increased from a top tax rate to 40%. In the coming month, we are scheduled to hit the debt ceiling. Delayed spending cuts will then kick in, and that means that we may still be able to go over the so-called fiscal cliff. No matter what strategy is chosen to improve the economy, a new budget must be established through a compromise between Democrats and Republicans in Congress in order to avoid the fiscal cliff. Half of the country may agree with President Obama, and half of the country may disagree with him. However, something that the entire country can agree on is that partisanship present in Congress must end.
I rise today to support the middle-income tax cuts of 2010.
Tax cuts for the wealthy will barely be spent at all. Even middle-class tax cuts won't add much to spending.
Our view would be that a higher tax on capital could discourage investment.
Our representatives should look past the party and focus on what is best for the prosperity of our nation. That, I believe, is the key to a good economy.